All right. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Kim Maybon. I am the board chair for the Corona Chamber of Commerce and owner of Creative by Design. Today is a great day with important updates ahead, and we appreciate you taking the time to join us. I will be sharing today's agenda with our 2020 board chair, Don Williamson. Donnie?
Thanks, Kim. Good morning, everyone. Today, our event is sponsored by Waste Management. Waste Management focuses on maximizing resource value while minimizing environmental impact. They value doing the right thing the right way and are always working towards a more sustainable tomorrow. In fact, they're at my front yard right at this moment. So whether you have a business or whether it's your home, Waste Management provides excellent service. Thank you, Waste Management, for sponsoring this meeting. Kim?
Thank you, Don. As a reminder, please use the chat button to ask any questions. Send your questions to the chamber host and we will verbally ask the questions at the appropriate time. Right now, I'd like to introduce our first speaker. Corona City Council has 5 elected positions. Each council member is assigned to a district or a ward. Each of these members are elected by their geographical location. Though elected by their district, once elected, they serve the entire population. Today, we have invited Corona Council member of District 3, Tom Richins. With a tremendous focus on revitalization of the downtown area, Tom has become a regular connector for the chamber and our members. Councilmember Richins was elected in the November 2020 elections and installed in mid-December 2020. Today, he will be sharing about his first 100 days. Please welcome Councilmember Richins.
Well, thank you. Thank you, everybody. I hope I'm not too boring. I'll try to be entertaining, but I guess just to review the 100 days of council, it started before council. So when you get elected, you're going to get phone calls, and probably the first 3 phone calls I got was from Mayor Casillas, Vice Mayor Speak, and Councilmember Steiner. And those 3, they made it abundantly clear that they had created a team environment for council. And they called to say congratulations, and they called to say we're here to help and let us know what you need. And to be honest with you, it was probably the 3 best phone calls I could have got, because it was very welcoming of them. So that's how it started off. The next step is you go and meet with the city attorneys, and they tell you all the top secret stuff that's going on in the city, and then they tell you not to tell anybody. And I told them it's so boring, nobody would want to know it. So if you're really ever wondering about what's top secret in the city, I can't tell it to you, but I promise you it's super boring. So there you have that. Part of going into city council is I sat down with the city manager, Jacob Ellis, and I just was straight up honest with him. I told him I didn't feel qualified and I didn't feel trained to do this job. I felt overwhelmed, and I really couldn't believe that I guess I'm being vulnerable with this Zoom call, but I really didn't feel that I should be the guy making the decisions. And I almost called Jason Scott and said, dude, you need to get back here. You're needed. And I got really good advice from City Manager Ellis. He said democracy is not the most perfect form of government. Is not, I don't know how to phrase him. He said government's government, but democracy is the best that we have. And the fact that I wasn't trained as a city leader, the fact that I didn't go to college for this, it didn't matter. What matters is that you're honest and you're willing to put in the work to do the job. And I didn't fully understand or qualify his statements at the time, but as the months have gone by now, I'm actually feeling the opposite. I like that we don't have trained city leaders. I like that you don't spend a career as a city leader. I like that it's the citizens that vote you in, and it's the citizen that you are to qualify to be in. as I look back now on some of the decisions that I've made, votes that I've made, I can't think of any better form of government. And truth be known, I respect democracy 100 times more than I ever have. And it's comforting today to say that I can say that. So, it turns out in the 2020s, everybody has email, and when you get elected, you're going to get emails. And it's again, you don't have all the answers. So I get emails about streetlights, about speeding, about graffiti, homeless, crime, history. It's all those emails come in every day, and you want to answer all of them. You want to get back to everyone that writes you, and I try to. And the cool thing is I can take those emails and I can forward them to city managers and city leaders and city staff and get reasonable answers. And when I can't get a reasonable answer, I get reasonable explanations as to why things are. But I'll give you an example. There's a citizen, him and his family live on Lemon Street in Corona. If you didn't know, we still have a Lemon Street. But there's no streetlights on his street. He has small kids. It gets dark. He wants his kids to be able to play in safety. And he emailed me, because it's District 3, saying, can I get streetlights? And I think you can all imagine what the cost would be to rip up the street, pull the wires, install the poles, install the lights. And I really thought I was just going to be writing the citizen back and say, dude, you're out of your mind if you think you're getting streetlights. But after forwarding the email to the city manager and assistant city manager and city staff, they came back with, yeah, there are options for streetlights. Solar has come a long way. We now have solar streetlights. And for a small investment, we could add streetlights to his neighborhood. And how cool is that to see it really pay off? That just from what started with a simple email to a council member about streetlights to now there's a pathway forward, and the city staff took the time to research it and look into it. And in the future, the lights can be installed. So that's most of my time is emails. Obviously, with COVID, we all the meetings were Zoom meetings for the first few months. We've only had one meeting where we've been back for council, so tonight will be the second one. I don't know if this is embarrassing or not, but there's a Brown Act that you have to follow when you are elected, and you go through the training and you go through the ethics training, and they give you 9 million rules that you got to follow. And it turns out I probably break half of them on a daily basis. So it's not unusual to get emails saying, hey, you broke this rule, you broke that rule, stop doing this, stop doing that. So that's fun. I enjoy those emails. And what else? Oh, I did want to hit on this. For the most important decision any city council could make is a decision that was made before I was elected, and that is selecting a city manager. So Jackie, Jim, Wes, Jason, and Yolanda, before I was ever elected, they deserve a lot of credit. They selected Jacob Ellis as our city manager. And I'm sure the chamber's gotten with Jacob to get to know him and learn about him. But from my times and my meetings with Jacob, I don't think we could have picked a better city manager. I think he's really good. He's really smart. And I think, and I almost want to promise that if you watch the next couple years, you're really going to see city government step on the gas pedal. And to complement that, it's Jacob's job to go out and hire other city staff positions. And just as good as he is, he's hired people just as competent. So our assistant city manager, Roger Bradley, The guy's a bulldog. You can email him and give him the hardest of tasks and he will track it down. He did the solar lights. He stays on top of his game and he serves with love and passion. And every other position that's been filled along the way, for the most part, have been great fills, great assignments. And I truly do mean what I say, that watch the next couple of years, we're going to step on the gas pedal. So I would like to give you some gossip. When I came onto city council, I wasn't quite sure how I would be received. I kind of feel like I made my reputation on Facebook as the rebel of the town. It wasn't uncommon for me to be on Citizens for Corona or Transparent Corona and be vocal with my opinions as to where the city could get better. That's what I did, and to be honest with you, I still do it. But as I started attending city council meetings and really starting to get to know my colleagues, as you call them, I've learned quite a bit that I didn't know before. And if you don't mind, I'd like to share it with you. The first is Council Member Steiner. That guy acts like he's one of the old boys, a good old boy. He's down to earth, and I think that dude will drink beer with anybody. But once you really sit down and get to know him, he is smart. He's borderline genius. He sits down, he has a hard work ethic, and the man can tackle problems like no other. And there are times in meetings where I just sit in awe of him and his passion and his ability that he's stepped into this council role that he's truly excelled at. With Mayor Casillas, sorry about that. With Mayor Casillas, you will not find anyone in the city of Corona with a bigger heart. She serves with passion. Again, she is super smart and loving and caring. And my time working with her has just been inspiring. With and I'm gonna go through all of them. Council Member Speak, the guy, that guy doesn't sleep. He sends more emails than anybody, but his emails are always well thought out and they're always in the best interest of the city. And I haven't asked him, but I probably should one of these days to see if he dreams about Corona when he's sleeping at night, because I'm pretty sure he does. And then Council Member Daddario, Tony, he had an easy win, and I let him know it every time I get a chance to. But the guy is he's alert, and he sees things at different angles, and he's not afraid to ask questions, and he's not afraid to put it out there, and he's not afraid to be unpopular if that's how he feels. He'll ask questions on the silliest of subjects, and he'll ask questions on the most complicated of subjects. And if he's not ready to move on, he's not ready to move on. He'll keep asking questions, and if the meeting goes till 2 a.m, so be it. He gets the results that he's looking for. And to our credit, that's the type of leader we need. So that's my gossip. It's not great gossip, but they're good people. I have one request. Sorry about that. I just have one request of you, and I hope you don't feel hypocritical of me asking. And that's as our city goes forward, like I said, in the next year, this year, next year, and the year after, we'll really be hitting the gas pedal. And I hope you guys as a chamber and business leaders of our community, that you'll believe in the success, that you'll promote the success, and that you'll see the success. It'll take all of you guys to get involved in the downtown revitalization. I hope you can watch the city council meeting tonight, because we're going to be voting on it. But it'll be you guys that believe in the success. And as we create success, promote success. So I hope you all get on board. I'm on board. I'm super excited. And I think that's pretty much all you guys are going to want to hear from me. So thank you, Kim and Don.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Richens. Anthony, do we have any questions for him?
Yes, we actually have a handful of questions. The first of which being, Councilmember, do you and the city have a game plan for assisting businesses that are now able to reopen?
Gosh, I'm the least person you should be asking these questions to. I'm guessing there is a game plan, but specifically I don't know of one, and I would have to ask and get back to you guys. So I know that's not the right answer, but that's the answer I'm going with.
Tom, that's actually a very good answer. If you don't have the answer, you're good. You and I've had side conversations, so that's absolutely awesome. You can get back with us on it. And we've had discussions with Jacob as well. But Anthony, go ahead with the next question then.
The next question is, what can you share about the cannabis progress?
Cannabis is so, oh gosh, I was raised Mormon, and so I've never touched the stuff, and I still have no desire to touch the stuff, but I think most of Corona does, and it's coming in a good way. There are many people that are applying for the city license to become sellers and distributors in Corona. I think it's this month actually where the applications are due, and then they'll be rated and qualified. And the truth of the matter is it's going to happen. So as you watch throughout this month and the next few months, you'll see cannabis become more and more prevalent. And as a council member, I probably get more phone calls from anyone on that subject. So.
Thank you. And I think we have time for one more question, which is there any business you have visited since being on the council that has really impressed you? If so, what company and what impressed you about it?
A few. I went to lunch. It's funny, this meeting is sponsored by Waste Management. I went to lunch with them last week, and I learned more about waste management than I've ever thought I would need to know about waste management. And I listened to them, and they're a business and they're out to make money, and you know, every business jockeys for position on that, right? But what impressed me most about them is their willingness to serve the community. I was really impressed with you ask them to do anything. I asked them to submit something to the parade this year if they would, and they said, yeah, no problem. There's a homeowner in District 3 that her 2-year-old really loves the garbage truck, and I don't get it, but there are kids out there that love garbage trucks, and the homeowner reached out to me if there was anything Waste Management could do, and I flipped the question to them, and they gave a goodie bag to give to the homeowner's kid. It's got a little truck in it and some garbage cans and stuff like. I played with it, of course, and then gave it to the homeowner. So the next one would be I don't know if Mike Downs is on this call, but Downs Energy. I see their fingerprints all over the city in good ways. Like, for example, this Saturday, Peppermint Ridge is having their fundraiser, and Downs Energy is all in and donating. And when I ran my campaign, I didn't really have a lot of funding. I just didn't take the time to go out and ask people for money. So for me, it's really special to see businesses serve the community and support the community, especially when they don't have to. And I see a lot of businesses such as Waste Management, such as Mike Downs and Downs Energy, and many, many others that are supporting the community. And I'm truly appreciative of that. You got more?
We actually do have one more, but if you can go ahead and answer that in the chat, I will send that out. And thank you, council member.
All right, cool. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you again, Councilmember Richens. All right, Donnie.
Good job, Tom. Thanks, Kim. I'm excited to announce that the speaker for the April 12th Coffee with an Entrepreneur will be Neha Arya. Neha is the founder of FutureLink Inc., a woman-owned and operated innovative STEM educational center. Her story is really moving, and with the recent COVID shutdowns, she had to reinvent her entire business. Her tips and experience will resonate with many of you businesses here in Corona, and she is also involved in several technology adventures and co-creator of Desktop 365. We are excited to have her with us and look forward to hearing more of her story. Coffee with an Entrepreneur is offered for free through a great partnership we have between the City of Corona and the Corona Chamber of Commerce. Please consider registering today by using the link on your screen. Back to you, Kim.
Thank you, Don. That sounds great. Right now, I'd like to welcome our President and CEO, Bobby Spiegel.
Thank you, Kim. I'm very honored to be able to share just a couple of highlights, and I want to run through them pretty quick because we do have some real business to take care of at the very end of this call. But as you all have gotten the email from us, Governor Newsom has released a statement yesterday announcing that June 15th will be a full reopening for California. The Corona Chamber has been preparing for these words that the governor shared for quite a while. We have our plan B already in place, and we've been helping you on a weekly basis with these calls, as well as many of the other things that we have accomplished to help. Listen, just because he's going to open up doesn't mean that we have to stop on the vaccines or on the testing. And, you know, we just want to make sure that you are always aware of where these things are. As well, we've partnered with the County of Riverside, and they are offering us to be able to help you with masks as well as sanitizers. So we have brand new, these 16-ounce sanitizer bottles. They're 15 to a case. If you would like to pick some up, come by the chamber. Let us know. If you'd like the one-time masks, those are free. We want to get those out to you. So if you have businesses, as your business has employees and they need to change them out, this is a partnership that we have between the county and the Chamber of Commerce. These items are not for resale. They're for your use and your employees' use. The Chamber is also working with the theme of this year, Creating Vision, which of course is Kim Maybon's 2021 theme. And there's some very exciting things because the County of Riverside has gone through a complete naming of the month of April to be Innovation Month. You'll see on the screen that we have our fast pitch competition. That'll be tomorrow, and there'll be another, well, you can log on to that bit.ly there to watch the progress of it. In cooperation with the City of Corona, we are doing this, and I'm so excited that it will be live streamed. We are very, very excited to be able to share that our board of directors individually came up with donations to this fast pitch. We have $1,750 right now that is earmarked for the fast pitch. First place will get $1,000, second place will get $500, third place will get $250. We have 8 different businesses that will be competing, and we're very excited. And again, the link is on there. What's exciting though, we are going to actually announce the winner of our fast pitch at our Good Morning Corona event. And there is going to be a discounted price for you if you put in your code. And I don't see that on there, but if you register now for the April 16th meeting, you'll be able to have a special, oh, there it is up in the top. Innovation is the code that you want to put in. You'll get the cheapest price available. Listen, here's the thing. At Good Morning Corona, every month we do some exciting things, but since it's Innovation Month, we've got a lot of different ideas and things. Again, we will have tips from the top from Barry E. Knight. We'll have networking tools. We're going to learn about the ADA requirements for your website. Very important that you're all compliant. And again, all these things happen on April 16th. Back to the governor's release, the next few months, many great changes are on the horizon. Our chamber will be focusing and discussing various ways for reopening and getting our community back in full swing prior to COVID timeframes. Additionally, there are numerous legislative bills that are going to be discussed. And our advocate, Jeff Gibson, even though he's on vacation right now, he will be on this call at the end to share a couple of pressing issues that are coming up. In preparation for the reopening, our Good Morning Corona in May, we will have our State of the County. Our county supervisor, Karen Spiegel, will be sharing "It is time to reopen," and that will be over at the IHOP. And then on June 25th, we're honored to be able to do the business version of the State of the City address with the mayor, Mayor Jackie Casillas. And lastly, I'd like to just touch on July 22nd, we will have Dr. Chris Thornburg do our economic summit. This is in partnership with 3 other chambers. We were in Orange County last year. This year we're hosting it. So if you're at all interested in any of these, please let us know. I want to thank you for being part of the chamber, part of the business community. And as Tom Richens, Councilmember Richens had asked, if we could be positive and promote the city and do things, that's what we do best. And that's what you all do by being part of the chamber. Thanks for being part of the solution. Back to you, Kim.
Thank you, Bobby. Anthony, do we have any questions for him?
There are no questions.
All right, then Don, why don't you tell us about membership?
You know, these business briefing calls that we have every month are held to educate and empower our members. And if you're on this call and you're still not a member, as always, or if you know a neighboring business who would have a value, which is every business, and belong to us, please contact with that information to our membership specialist, Robert Yanez, so they too can join our chamber family and take advantage of all we have to offer. Meetings like these are just one of the many benefits to being a part of an active, thriving organization like the Chamber of Commerce. The Corona Chamber of Commerce is 110 years old. We have incentives for both joining and referring members. Our chamber is growing, and together, the more members we have, the greater impact we have. So please contact Robert Yanez with your membership or anyone you think should belong. Back to you, Kim.
Thank you, Don. At this time, it's my privilege to introduce Grace Hilario to today's meeting. She has been a registered nurse for over 10 years and has a background in healthcare management, stroke and cardiac programs, intensive care, and outpatient military health care. She works at Corona Regional Medical Center as the stroke and chest pain coordinator. She always strives to ensure high-quality medical care is provided to the community. Please welcome Grace Hilario.
Hello, good morning. My name is Grace Hilario.
And I'm Sylvia Bolanos. I'm the critical care educator here at Corona Regional.
First off, thank you so much for allowing us to speak at the chamber. We wanted to discuss a few items such as heart disease, early heart attack care, and a potentially life-saving device that would quite be beneficial for your businesses. First off, I'd like to discuss heart disease. Heart disease continues to be the #1 killer in America. In comparison to COVID last year, COVID was the #3 cause of death in America. #2 was cancer, and #1 is still heart disease. So I wanted to ensure that we are all aware of how big of an impact heart disease plays in our roles. And we want to make sure that people are aware of the statistics. Approximately 1 in 4 people die of a heart attack every year. So that's approximately 750,000 people in the US dying of heart attacks every year. In women, it's more prevalent. So it comes out to about 1 in 3, and it comes out to about 1 woman dying every minute of a heart attack. We wanted to ensure that people are aware of the signs and symptoms of early heart attack care that we would need to intervene. For example, chest pain, shortness of breath, feeling of fullness, jaw pain, excessive fatigue, anxiety, nausea, vomiting. So it's a number of factors that might potentially lead to a heart attack. So we want to ensure that the public is aware of what to do in the case that you need to intervene. Sometimes with women, it can show various symptoms such as just nausea and sweating. So we want to make sure the women are aware of when to come into the hospital. I also wanted to share a short clip, a video from a team of experts.
I look healthy. I look super healthy.
I look healthy.
But things can change in an instant.
Sudden cardiac arrest knows no age limit.
It can strike anyone at any time, even kids.
Would you know what to do if I was suddenly unconscious?
Would you only call 911?
Or would you nearly double my survival chances?
Just by using an AED.
You can't tell by just looking at me.
But I have a cardiac condition.
I may need an AED, but someone has to know how to use it.
AED stands for Automated External Defibrillator. It can save someone's life if their heart changes rhythm and stops pumping blood.
And it's not hard to use.
The first thing you should do is call 911 if someone collapses and is unconscious.
Call 911.
Get the AED and start CPR if necessary.
Make sure you know where the AED is and how to access it.
Time is important. Once you have the AED, turn it on.
Unit okay.
There will be step-by-step instructions right on the device, and you'll hear voice prompts.
Stay calm. Check responsiveness.
Attach the AED pads to the skin on the chest.
And then to everyone to stand clear. Stand clear.
Don't touch patient. Analyzing.
The AED will tell you if the person needs a shock.
Shock advised.
If it tells you to shock, make sure nobody is touching the person. Then, press the shock button.
Shock delivered. Start CPR. Continue CPR.
After that, the AED will tell you to continue CPR until help arrives.
Or deliver another shock if necessary.
Shock advised.
Congratulations.
You may have just saved a life like mine.
Or mine.
Or mine. Because kids like me need lifesavers like you.
Great, thank you for showing that video. So the reason why we showed this video is because it is very important to not misconstrue that heart attacks only happen to the elder population. About 1 in 5 people under the age of 65 do suffer from a sudden cardiac arrest. So it really can happen to anyone. We can go to the AED information session. So Sylvia will discuss the AED portion on our mannequin and how to utilize it.
So first of all, if you see anyone who collapses, first thing that you need to know to see if they're unconscious, so you can tap them on the shoulder and ask them if they're okay. If there's no response, if you know how to, you can check and see if they're breathing. Just by looking at their chest. If you know how to, again, you can check their pulse. But if you don't know how to do either or, if they are unconscious, they do recommend that you begin CPR. So the area where you would do CPR, you look at the middle of the nipple line, and then you would cross your hands like this, and then you press firmly onto the chest. You have to go down about 2 inches. And, you know, the rate is usually 30 compressions per minute. The beauty of AEDs is that they are now provided in the vast majority of businesses, at the mall. We even will have some AEDs in our parking lots in areas where we don't have a defibrillator readily available here at the hospital. But the AED takes away the having to think about how fast should I compress or what are my next steps. So you definitely want to make sure that you call 911 before you start compressions so that you can get specialized care and you're just, you know, not the one person taking care of someone who's unconscious. So you would start CPR and then call for someone to get the AED. We have a training AED here. It does give you prompts. So first thing that you need to do is turn it on. And the on button looks like any single, you know, any machine's on button.
Adult patient.
And then
Patient is a child.
it has an adult and a pediatric setting. So this is an adult. You would have to remove the clothing from the patient's chest.
Onto patient's bare skin.
And then it has instructions on where the pads go.
As shown in the pictures.
And the AED gives you prompts.
Remove packet and apply pads onto patient's bare skin. Press pads firmly on skin.
And then it tells you to press them firmly to make sure that they're fully there.
Firmly on skin. Do not touch the patient.
Now you would
Analyzing heart rhythm.
You would have to stop the patient so that the
Do not
AED can
touch the
analyze.
patient. Analyzing heart rhythm. Shock advised. Do not touch the patient. Everyone clear.
So before you shock the
Press the
person, you need to
flashing
make
shock
sure everyone has stopped touching the
Press
patient.
the shock button.
And then
now.
it'll start flashing.
Shock delivered. Begin CPR.
And then after the shock is delivered, you would have to start CPR. As you can hear, the AED starts
10.
counting for you. That way you don't have to think about how often you should do compressions.
20.
And then after you finish the 30 compressions, it'll analyze the rhythm again. And then it'll tell you whether you need to shock them again or anything like that. So it kind of buys the person time. Survival rates definitely go up once you use an AED or start compressions early, rather than just waiting for the ambulance.
Yes. So we just wanted to kind of explain the importance of the AED. Currently, 88% of heart attacks occur outside of the home. So if you decide to implement an AED program into your business, it's stated that about 34% of businesses implement the AED and 66% have found them successful. So we did provide some resources here with a QR code. You can go ahead and take a look at the various types of AEDs there, and they'll provide you with different types, and as well as a video from the American Red Cross on how to utilize it. So thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Kim, you're muted.
I'm sorry, I'm on mute.
That's okay. Go right
Thank you
ahead.
so much, Grace. I do know the Corona Chamber has purchased one AED unit for the Corona Fire Department, and we also challenge others to do the same. Donations of $900 to the Corona Fire Safety Foundation will ensure that these are put into the community. Anthony, do we have any questions for Grace?
Yes, we have one question at the moment. It is, do these AEDs have a battery? And if they do, how long do they last?
Because there are different types of AEDs and different manufacturers, you would just have to go back to the manufacturer instructions on the AED purchase.
All right, thank you. And there are no questions at the moment.
Okay, thank you again, ladies, for sharing that with us today.
Thank you so much.
All right. Advocacy is a huge part of our chamber's effort. Today, we have two bills being brought to this committee. Each bill is recommended opposed position. These are bills AB 286 and AB 1074. To better understand and learn more about these, please welcome our Corona Chamber Advocate, Jeff Gibson.
Thank you, Kim. I appreciate it. As we've discussed in the past, over the last year and a half to 2 years, our main job here, while the state is waiting to reopen, and as we now know, it's slated for June 15th, which we are all very excited about, is to limit the cost of reopening on you. Jeff's already, I see we already have a motion to oppose. So here's the deal. We're trying to eliminate costs. We're trying to keep costs down. Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez, Democrat from San Diego, we have opposed a number of her bills, as has the rest of the known world. She is the chair of the Assembly Labor Relations Committee and was the author of AB 5, which largely eliminated independent contracting in the state of California, making us the only industrialized economy in the known world to do so. And she's back at it again with AB 286 and AB 1074. AB 286 fixes the price of food delivery services like Uber Eats, Grubhub, etc., that many of you likely during the pandemic used to still be able to eat at your favorite restaurant, but eat at home. And while you at home very rarely see any expense from that, obviously it's the restaurant that pays the cost. In a private transaction between the restaurant, which couldn't operate otherwise, and the provider of the delivery service. AB 286 tries to fix that price. Obviously, any of us who have ever lived on the planet Earth know that when you have a government fixing prices, that drives down supply, and it drives up the net cost of providing the services. So we need an opposition on that. And then finally, AB 1074 is a rerun of a bill that the governor actually vetoed last year. We were diametrically opposed to it, and it was AB 3216. Many of you on this call will remember that. The employee unions in the state referred to that as their Christmas tree bill because it was a number of items that they had wanted for over 20 years. What this would allow, amongst other things, but the headline that you're going to see a lot on is that it essentially establishes a near complete right of return for any former employee of a restaurant or another organization in the hospitality industry from COVID. So if you had to let go of employees for whatever reason, and you are in those industries, and likely, of course, the reason that we're interested in this is not just from the effect on hospitality industries, but the carry-on effect of, as we've seen over the years, from what happens when you have one industry have something like this, and then workers in the other industries start to lobby for the same right. This allows employees to go out and get another job or claim an unemployment on another job, and then come back and ultimately possibly sue their former employer for not keeping their position open. This is not like in government where you can budget for 900 employees and hire 700 and claim that you have 200 job openings. Private industry doesn't work like that. And so it's going to be an incredible carry-on cost. The governor did veto the last version of this bill and has not taken a position on AB 1074. So we're asking for an opposition. Our opposition would join a statewide coalition of business groups from CalChamber all the way down on the opposition to both of these bills. So I see that we have a motion from Jeff Miller already, but I'll turn that over to Kim to run that. And I'm happy to answer any questions that there may be.
Thank you, Jeff. And we know you're on vacation with your family, and we're really grateful that you understand how important advocacy is to our business community. Before we have a motion and then ultimately a vote, Anthony, are there any questions for Jeff?
There is one question. With the governor's reopening plans, do you anticipate further challenges for businesses?
Absolutely, yes. The legislative session is going to be very unique and very active, unfortunately. This year, the legislature has suspended all constitutional limits on itself for the publication and introduction of legislation. And so that's going to cause a lot of consternation. So what can happen is a bill can be changed up to the last minute. Previously, there were restrictions that a bill language had to be in print for 30 days before the legislature could take action on it. That's been wiped out. Or a bill had to be in its final form for 72 hours before action could be taken on it. That's been wiped out. So you're going to see a number of these challenges coming up around taking advantage of the COVID situation. But yes, we're monitoring it quite substantially. You may remember that in previous years, the legislation that we took a position on saved employers about $12,000 per employee that we were successfully legislated on or took action on. And that last year it was $77,500. So we're going to be in the mid 50s, high 70s again this year, probably, unfortunately. One, it's nice to be that successful for you, but we would prefer that obviously there not be a wholesale attack on employers trying to get back and really ultimately having a lot of difficulty, from what I understand from my clients and causes, in attracting new employees because unemployment benefits are so high right now. So in any case, any other questions?
There are no further questions.
All right.
Okay. We have a motion by Jeff Miller and a second by Marty Kramer. Is there any further discussion before we vote?
Correction on the last name of Marty, it's Kerner. And I
Kerner.
apologize
Okay.
if I typed that
Sorry.
wrong in there. Thank you.
Okay, seeing no further discussion, we are ready to vote. All those in favor of opposing both AB 286 and AB 1074, please say yes.
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 And all those opposed to our motion, opposing these bills, please say nay. Are there any abstaining? Okay, this motion carries and the Corona Chamber will go on record of opposing AB 286 and AB 1074. As Jeff mentioned, please reach out to your local representatives, Senator Richard Roth and Assemblymember Sabrina Cervantes. And we thank you again, Jeff, for guiding the Corona Chamber and our membership in these legislative issues.
Thanks, guys.
Don?
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that. Once again, we'd like to thank today's sponsor, Waste Management. They're responsible stewards of the environment and champions for sustainability. They're solid supporters of the Corona Chamber Foundation, and we appreciate them sponsoring this call today. To learn more about waste management, please look at wm.com. Kim?
Thank you, Donnie. If you would like to support our future business briefing, please connect with the Chamber. Register now to join us next Wednesday for more advocacy news. At this time, we'd like to thank everyone for attending. Our meeting is officially adjourned.
Thank you all.